How's it going, everybody? Today's the day. We're going to take care of those questions. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So glad each and every one of you can make it. Now, I don't do a lot of live streams, so I posted in my community tab that I was going to, that I don't do a lot of live streams. And if you had any questions, to post them down below. And if I got enough, I would answer it. I didn't get a ton. I'm sitting here glancing at them right now. But we're going to take care of that right now. We're going to go ahead and answer them. So let me get you turned around and we'll go from there. As you can see, right on top. Since I really do not do lives, would you guys be interested in a QA? If so, post questions below. If I get enough questions, I will answer in a video. Almost anything goes, so post away. Now this one is the top one, but that is the newest one. So we're going to go down to the very first one, which is right there. Look about, I don't know, maybe 10 or so. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, we'll go with it. Angel at Heart 1892 wants to know, when will you ever tell what happened with Pinks and I no longer see you in some others' comment sections? Why not? That is a tough question. That's a long answer. And that's been a while. And you're correct, I haven't ever told. I've just let everything be the way it is, but man. I tell you what, I'm going to hold off on the first part, what happened with Pinks. I'll take on the second part because you asked it. I no longer see you in others' comment sections, some others' comment sections. Why not? Let me get you turned back around. The way I was raised and brought up, everybody's raised and brought up differently. Everybody has different standards and morals. And, with your parents from the time you're born and everything, they give you basically a set of guidelines. And you move those guidelines and goalposts around as you grow up and you learn from your own life experiences and stuff. So, mine have changed somewhat from my parents, but I still, get you turn around a little bit. I still have very firm value system from them. And several of the things is, of course, the old, you treat people the way you want to be treated. And you do them to their face as you would behind their back. That makes sense. So what has happened is, the first part of this question that you asked, it brought out some irregularities in people, if you will. Some people said they don't like drama, but they actually went to the people causing the drama. And then you have some people that just want to get along with everybody, and that's fine. They just want to post and not get caught up in anything whatsoever. But whenever it comes to talking bad about somebody, really bad, like their sexual orientations or anything along that lines, stuff like that, this is a diecast community. We don't need all that. So what has happened is, like I said, the first part of this question brought out some people who really weren't what they appeared in front of this, okay? So, every so often I'll check their pages out just to see what's going on, because the first, everybody changes. Everybody deserves a second chance, and, you as a person are not supposed to hold a grudge, because that eats away at you from the inside out. So, every so often I'll go look and see how things are going, and, if things are okay, good for you, and I can let you back in my house per se, because this right here is my house. my channel, my house. If you screw up, I have the right to take the key away and you can't come in. So once I see that these people have changed or doing a different way, I can give them a temporary key back, if that makes sense. So that's, I have seen some people who I thought were really good, upstanding people in the comment sections, in the community pages of these other people that I'm referring to. And I mean, if I make 10 posts and you go through and you always see them, right? You see the people who respond to my posts in the community section. And then I say something completely stupid once or twice. I mean, just way, way off base. Something that's really offensive or shouldn't be said. More than likely, I won't get any comments on that, right? Okay? If I do, it's going to be some hate, which I would deserve. But then you make a couple more good comments, showing what you're doing, where you're going, or something like that. And then here's these same people popping back up. That means that those same people saw the bad comments, which truly shows how those people are. And then after they started making comments they were interested in, oh, hey, yeah, I'm back. Hey, what you been doing, yada, yada. I don't believe in that. It's called being two-faced. I hate a two-faced person. I despise them. And that's exactly what that is. So if I see these types of people in the comment sections before and after, then I know that they saw the during comments. It kind of makes sense to you. And I know it's a long-winded response and everything, but I have to put it in the box so you know what I'm talking about. So let's get turned around and take the next question. And Mr. Tony's Diecast Customs wants to know, what's your favorite castings besides Chimeras? Great question, Tony. I'm glad you asked that. And I appreciate the question. Appreciate you taking the time. I appreciate everybody taking the time asking these questions. I like all castings except for fantasy castings. And there's even a few fantasy castings that I do like, but we won't get into those. But my number one being Chimeras. And my number two, since I'm a southern guy and I'm male, not a he, she, or none of that business. I am a male. I love trucks. Especially Chevy trucks. So there you go. I really like them. I've been customizing quite a few of them. Matter of fact, I've got one sitting right here. See if I can get to it. Yeah, I actually have two sitting here. One belongs to somebody, and the other one has not found a house yet or a home. But I love customizing them. I love doing different things to them. I love the square bodies. I love the OBS trucks. I love the newer stuff by Chevrolet. Not so much the Colorados, but like the Trail Bosses and the Silverados and the GMC Sierras and stuff like that. Love them. I love the old dualies. Love them. And just as long as it's a Chevy pickup truck. Love it. So that's my other favorite casting. Now I do really like semi-trucks. I still have yet to get my holy grail, but I'm maybe one day, of semi-trucks, which is actually this casting, but it's just in a different paint scheme. But I love the Hot Wheels pickup trucks. I really like the DCP trucks too, but them jokers start out at $100 and go up. Do you see DCP trucks in here? But outside of that, Tony, that's it. That's what I like besides Chimeras. Thank you for the question. Next up is War Party to You. How you doing, buddy? It's like summertime over there where you're at, isn't it? Let's see. If you could have any one older diecast and any one new diecast, what would it be? Hey, you got to call me. We got some things to talk about. Well, let's see. If you could have any older diecast, as in any older Of course, one of the first custom Camaros, the one with the opening hood and everything. That's on the older really want list. Yeah, but if you move it up a tick, it would be the first Super Hunt, which is the white with orange stripes Camaro. So that thing is astronomical. Depending on, it goes up and down. I've seen it as low as $800 and I've seen it as high as $3,000. So, you seeing them around? Oh. So that takes care of the older ones. Both of them are Camaros. And then the tractor trailer ones, like I just mentioned, there used to be two. I have one of them now, thanks to Cecil. I worked out a deal with him and got the Smokey and the Bandit one. But the other one is the BJ and the Bear one. Really, really want that. Let's see. Uh-oh, went dark on me. Come on back up. There we go. Any new die cast? It's a good question. Any new die cast? I really want that Camaro from, and yes, another Camaro, I know. I want that Camaro from the vintage set, the red Chase Camaro. I really want that. As far as anything else, nothing's really hitting me, outside of and these are a couple years older, but the C10 RLC cars, really like them. I'm really digging the C10s. So I guess that'd be the newer ones. So with that being stated, thank you very much for the question. Flyers Chris 72 said, if Hot Wheels asked you to design a car, what would it be? Now that's a tough question. Thank you very much, Flyers Chris. That is a very tough question because Hot Wheels has a corner on the market as far as mainline cars. They really do. And their RLCs are coming, they're getting hotter and hotter, but now they're shooting themselves in the foot, wanting more for the membership, and they're trying to milk you for more and more for cars, because like that black truck that just came out. I would love to have that Elite 64. Oh my goodness, that thing is hot. First thing to do is a wheel swap on it. But anyhow, $50 for that thing, that's, and some of the other cars are 30 and 40, that's just too much. I know it's adult collectibles and everything, but come on, Mattel. But they have a corner on the main lines, like they have a corner on the main lines. They've got licenses to some really cool cars and everything. Sorry. I'm gonna make a mess. I know it. There we go. But, and I know this isn't a casting, but we'll get back to that in a second. I think, they've done the wheels and everything, which is really cool. You can go in there and order actual Hot Wheels wheel sets. And that's really cool. But I would design some 164 accessories like M2 does, Miho. They've got the 164 figurines, whether it be the girls or whether it be the Secret Service protection detail or something along that lines. More of that, more and different kind of lifts for the cars, and more accessories like the air compressors to go in dioramas and stuff, and even offer some, 164 shop dioramas or houses or just different things like that. I would really. Mike's blowing me up. That's my notifications going off. Sorry. I would like to see them come out with some more 164th accessories. I think that would really be cool. Kind of like Barbie has, all their handbags, the shoes, the clothes, all that you can buy just separate. Yeah, I know about them. Your wife used to collect Barbies a long time ago. But anyhow, and that's what really started Mattel. With that stated, as far as a casting, I had one in mind here a while back. I forgot what the heck it was. If I could make any car, well, any casting, what would it be? To be honest, and I've mentioned this several times, I would like to see more of the tractor trailers. I'd really like to see more of those, and different ones. Like, I know you got to get licenses and all this. Yeah, of course, I understand that, but I would like to see more of those come back. Whether it be just the hauler, I mean, just a car, just a tractor, or just a trailer. I mean, they could milk it and get one, each, sell them separate, and then you could sell them together. But I like to see the Peterbilts, the Kenworths, the Internationals, all those, rather than just like the Thunder Roller, So that's really what I would probably try to go after, something like that, or some kind of truck. Yeah, probably some kind of truck, which a tractor trailer is a truck. So thank you for that question. I know it's not exactly what you was looking for, but that would probably be it. And CJ Remecki, I'm sorry if I'm messing it up, brother. 5086. Do you have a favorite customized? I'm assuming is saying customizer. If so, who and why? And what got you started doing customs? Thank you very much for that question, CJ Remecki. Again, I'm sorry if I'm messing that up. Let's start with the last part. Who and what got you started doing customs? This. This. This was in very rough shape, and I'll try to remember to put a picture of it up here. I'll put my finger right there so I got room. So you can see the before and the after. And let's set this back up here so I don't knock it over. And what happened was I was at the hospital with a family member, and we left there, and I was watching a couple of those online because I like the spoiler series. I like the ones that have the engines sticking out. And I knew that the only way I could get one is to buy one in rough shape. So I found one that didn't look like it had ever been stepped on. So the pillars wasn't broke, but the paint was rough, and I was okay with that. Gaslands was making a strong come on and everything. So I was like, well, patina. Patina was really big at that time too, when I first got that car. What, now 4 years ago, maybe 5? But anyhow, so I started looking online at those cars, and then I stumbled across some people like Matchbox Mark, Paul over at Diecast Graveyard, Paul Udelis at Fat Man Productions, Bare Metal, and I know I'm going to forget somebody because I'm trying to think of other things, but I've got them right here. Matchbox Mark, again, Paul Udelis, and then when you start watching these guys, it starts bringing other people up, and I know a lot of people are going to say Jakarta Diecast Project, and that guy's on a whole nother level, but even he's went only so far as he could go. Now he's starting to use a lot of 3D printing parts and stuff. Used to, he did everything by hand. If he needed, struts for a wing, he'd make the struts for the wing, cut out all the holes and everything, then make the wing, and which that takes a lot of time, I know, and using the 3D parts, it gives him more vision to do different things. I understand that 3D printing is a game changer for a lot of things. But he's not my favorite, and he's not the one that I always go to. Yeah, I'll look at his cars when he pulls them up, but I'm going to be honest, I don't watch his whole videos and everything. Who's got time to watch everybody's videos that you follow, So with that being stated, I don't have a particular customizer. Hold on, let me find a couple more of them because I don't want to leave. Well, I know I'm going to leave some people out, like Lazlo Collectibles. You know, he does great work. Dan's Chop Shop. Beard Does Diecast does great work, but he doesn't do a lot of videos. Where's the one I'm looking for? Puri Garage. He does excellent work. What? Totally Garage does great work. Yeah, that's all I can find right now. Sorry if I left anybody. I know I did. Diecast Connection. All these guys do great work. So what I do is I don't have one particular one that I just gotta watch this person. I get bits and pieces from each and every one of them. They all are very informative. They're all very helpful. They all teach you something new every time you watch. And that's what it's about. You know? As far as one favorite, I just don't have it. I'm sorry. I wish I could say I do, but I don't. Everybody's super talented in their own little way, you know. That one card is what got me in going down this thing, because when I started watching those other channels and everything, I could see that you can actually take these cards apart. I can see that you can actually strip them down. You can paint them. You can put new... There's somebody out there that makes the decals for them. There's somebody out there that makes brand new engines for these cars, you know, or motors, whatever you want to call it. Even though a motor technically is electric and an engine is combustion, but that's... So that started me down this trip, you know. So when I started seeing them do that, well, then I saw the guys, well, how did he make that? That car didn't come with an engine sticking out of the hood, you know, and so on and so forth. So that led you down to the jeweler saw, the 3D printed engines, you know, swapping interiors, just so many wheel swaps at the very simplest, you know. So that's that one car is what got me started and why. Never been the same since. So I hope that answered your question. Thank you for the question. Yeah, let's get to the next one. All right, Steve over at Simple Man Mustang Diecast. Jake beat me to my question. All right, so we've only got a couple more and we'll get that. So you and Jake's thinking alike tonight. So if you could only keep 5 cars from your collection, which 5 would it be, or would they be, and why? Have a great rest of your week. Wow, Steve. That would be a tough one. The very first one I would grab, like God forbid anything was going on and I had to get rid of everything, or I knew they was fixing to all disappear for whatever reason, would be the one that I did for my wife in honor of her father. That was actually the very second custom that I did in my whole entire life. And I would grab that one because I did it in honor of him. You know, he had a favorite car. I painted it to look like his. Did some card art with him on it with his car and so on and so forth. So that'd be the first one. The second one would be the spoiler Camaro that I just showed. That would definitely go because that's what started all this. And then outside of that, Lord, it depends on the circumstance. Why am I having to choose just 5? So that would leave me 3 because, I mean, I've got so many up here. There's so many wonderful people have donated to the channel, you know. I'll turn around and show you if you've never seen it. I've got so many up there on that shelf that wonderful people have donated to the channel. And then these. And then there's a few up there too in the cards. Not that one. Not that one, of course. Not that one. Those weren't custom, but the rest of them were. So it would definitely be some of them, but it would be more like just depending on the circumstance. Why am I getting just 5 and what's happening to the rest, you know? So I hope that answered it. And what was the rest of the question? I'm sorry. Oh, that's why. That's it. That's why. Yep, that's it. Wanted to make sure. But thank you for the question, Steve. I hope it answered it. I mean, I know it's not a very, but I mean, come on. You know how it is. Got all these cars right here on my tree. Got all those cars up there. Got a bunch of them in the closet. Got all those cars up on the wall. All those. And all the... How could you choose just 5, But thanks for the question. All right. Mike Mods and Customs wants to know, airbrushing, average PSI and needle size. What paints do you use? Well, that's a mouthful, Mike. Good Lord. Alright, as far as the PSI, depending on how thick, well, I have to spray outside because I've got a paint booth and everything, but every time I do it, the cat breaks out. So even though I'm using water, acrylic based paints, or acrylic polymer paints, whatever, every time. So I do it outside. Typically, anywhere from 25 to 27 PSI, typically. The paint that I use says 32. 32 is kind of blowing it out there, and the more you blow it out there, the more you waste, because all of it doesn't go on the car. So I'm not doing it from a cost savings perspective, but it's just, I like how the paint lays down better for me. Now I can mix it thinner and use less PSI. I could go all the way down to 7 or 10 PSI if I mixed it thinner, but then it doesn't want to stick to the car real good. You got to be real careful, really fast, light mist passes and everything, because I've tried it on spoons and I'm heavy-handed. So if I go make one pass across there like I normally do, that stuff's dripping off the bottom like a waterfall if I thin it down to where I can use 7 to 10 PSI. As far as needle size, I always use a .05. That's just what I started out using. The paints that I use, that's what they want you to use anyway. So I keep a .05 in it and go with that. And what paints do I use? I use Createx 99.7% of the time. Createx. I will venture out and use some acrylics from the hobby, like Walmart. Just walk in there, 75 cents, whatever it is, 94 cents. If I see one I like, grab it, thin it down with water or windshield washer fluid, and let that bad boy rip. But again, with that, you got to go really light-handed because water-based and everything runs. I really like the Createx line because it's not really expensive. It's like anything. When you first start something, the upstart is what costs you. Like to do airbrushing, well, first you got to buy a compressor and an airbrush. That's the most expensive part. Then you got to get your primers. Then you got or sealers. Then you got to get your colors. Then if you're going to do transparent colors, well, then you got to have your first base, which would be primer, your mid coat, which is typically a gloss black, right? So then you can put the silver or metallic cover over that, finish with the candy color. That's what I really like. I really like the candy colors. I like how they look. I like how they lay down, and when done right, they look really good. And I haven't gotten one right yet, but I'm working on it. And another reason is they sell them right up the street, 10 minutes away at Hobby Lobby. I can walk in there anywhere from $4.99 to $8.99. It's the most I've ever paid. And now one bottle of $8.99, I still got the very first bottle of Blood Red that I ever bought, which is what I use on a lot of my castings. Like this color right here. That is a Blood Red. And it's primered with a gloss black. And then I put a silver over top of that, which is really, they call it chrome. Createx does. Not anymore, but they did. And it gives a dark but yet reflective undercoat to the candy paint. So I just really like how all that works. So to do that, you've got to have your, like I said, your thinner, got to have your primer, your mid coat, your undercoat, and top coat. Ooh. But it lasts a very long time. I've got about this much left in the bottom of a, what is it, 1 ounce? 2 ounce? I can't remember now. But yeah, I've got about that much left. So, and I've got a brand new bottle sitting beside it because that's one of my favorite colors. But that's why I use, why I use it now. I'm fixing to start using some other paints. I really want to try some splash paints if I keep going. You know, 1 minute I want to keep going, 1 minute I don't. 1 minute I want to do just restorations on old cars like the red lines and the matchboxes. Next minute I want to do more custom. And then sometimes I just want to and be done. You know, so. But Createx, for the simplicity and availability, is kind of like if I go down 4 houses, make a left, I'm at a convenience store, right? I can walk in there any time of the night as long as they're open and get whatever I need pretty much. And then 4 houses back. So convenience for me, that's why I use them. Plus they are a very, very popular brand. They've got great support with their paints and stuff. But I do want to try some splash paints because they do true colors. Like if you wanted to do a Gulf color, like a Gulf GT40, the vintage type, they have that Gulf blue. If you want a specific Porsche red, they've got it. You want a specific Lamborghini silver or yellow, they've got it. A particular type of vintage race car or even modern race cars, race teams, they've got it. I want to start using some of them, but they're more 1K and 2K based, so they cost a little bit more too. And I really want to start using some House of Colors paint. Those colors from House of Color just pop, no matter what you put them on. I mean, you can have 10 cars, and they could tell you that one of them's done with House of Color. You immediately can look and tell what car is painted with House of Color. I don't know, it's just something about their paints. I don't know if it's the pearls that they put in them or what. And I've been seeing some on line made by Tropical Glitz. I want to try a couple of theirs as well. But thank you for the question, Mike. That's what I use. That's why I use it. Availability, ease of use is a very forgiving paint. And once you get everything that you need, I mean, you're not having to buy anything else for a while. My God, I'm all the way up to 32 minutes. Whew. I got to get this moving. All right, let's see. Here is the Strictly Diecast. What first got you into collecting, and how long have you been collecting for? What first got me into it? Being a young boy, growing up, liking cars. I mean, you don't necessarily have to like cars, but if you're a boy, sometime you're going to walk down that toy aisle and your parents are going to want to get you something, and you're going to look up and see those cool looking things that roll. And then as you get a little older and stuff, you realize, oh, I can race these? Oh, heck yeah. And, you know, they've got racetracks that'll go up the wall and come back down. They've got them that smash into each other and everything. So, yeah, what kid doesn't like cool cars ramming into each other, making lots of noise that aggravate the crap out of the parents? That's what first got me into it. And then my cousin one day, I went to his house. Been years since I seen him. And I took a carrying case. Showed him, you know, we played with mine out on the porch and everything. And I realized he didn't have any. So I talked to my mom and dad, and I just gave them all to him. Every one that I had. But I still had some at home, of course. But so that's what first got me into collecting. Well, then when I got up into my teenage years and everything, I started liking cars more. So then I got into the magazines. Yes, there was a thing back in the day called magazine, guys. Then I wanted to do well, first I was looking at the 4-wheel drive trucks and everything. That's what really caught my eye. Like, you know, the big mud boggers that the tires are about that far apart and almost have to time the tread as they roll around. Stuff like that. But I started looking at those, the popular hot rodding, the car craft. the regular hot rod magazines, stuff like that. And I kind of ventured away from them. Then I got married. Then, I don't know, so I was in Walmart one day, and because Matchbox and Mattel always goes in kind of cycles. Like for the past couple of years, they've been doing a lot of JDM because that's what has hit them, the U.S. market is JDM. What's a JDM, So that's been really hot. But back then it was muscle cars. Well, I'm a muscle car guy. And like I said, now magazines and everything. So that brought me back to them. And I started collecting and everything. And did that for quite a few years. Then I had a health issue flare up and I needed a lot of money really fast. So I sold my entire collection to one guy and then walked away for a while. Then I got that dang Flying Colors Camaro online, and that started to bug again. I told the wife I was only going to do Camaros. I don't want to collect everything again. I don't variations and all that, just Camaros. And then then it blew up again. And I'm still just collecting Camaros and trucks. But yeah, it's blew up since then. I'm trying to keep it under control. Like when I go into a store, if I got something new, I may pick up one to do a wheel swap on, or if I really, really like it. Alright, so how long have I been collecting for? Well, the first time, like I said, from the earliest I can remember, probably 3 or 4. I mean, I remember having the crack ups. I remember having the motorcycles with the riders on them. I remember having those. Then I started collecting again, probably, if I had to guess, '92, '93, and did that to probably '02, '03. Then I had the health issue, and then I started again about 4 or 5 years ago when I got that car. So it's. I hope that answered the question. Let's see. But thank you for that question, Jake. Let's see if I got everything. Got Jake's, Mike's, Steve's, CJ's. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and answer this. Because you're the only one that's ever asked. This has been one of those things where either people have believed or people have hated. And I really don't want to answer this. Because whenever I answer a question, I like to tell facts. I like to tell names. But for right now, I'm going to leave names out of it. If any of you really want to know, hit me up privately and I'll tell you. But I'm going to do like everybody else for right now. And just leave names out of it. When will you ever tell what happened with Pinks? Because I've already answered the other half of it, and nobody's ever asked me this before. Nobody's ever gave enough consideration to even ask. So here goes. And it's going to be a little lengthy response, but I'll go as quick as I can. They're asking about Pinks. Well, actually it goes a little further than that. About a week and a half further. So not that far. Rodney over at RD Custom Diecast contacted me wanting to start a group. So basically, for lack of better terms, he was the president, I was the vice president, okay? Even though the group had no names, no titles, no anything. Just picture that for the sake of this conversation, okay? And you'll understand when I tell you what happened, how it happened, and why it happened. He wanted to start a group, so we worked out what we wanted to do, how we wanted to do it. Him and I would bounce ideas off each other. So it's his thing, but it's our thing. If that kind of, it's his show. He has final say so. But it's kind of mine too, because I've had all the behind the scenes detail work. So one day I see somebody questioning him on an open forum about why we do it this way. It should be. And he was inserting how he wanted it to. And in fact, he was saying that who was in, he was trying to tell him how to pick who's in the group. Wanted it to be something like community voting, like the Diecast community vote the members of the, wanted it to be like American Idol for the judging and the picking of the castings and stuff like that. So while this guy is making these comments, Rodney's a little slow to respond to messages on his comments on those videos when he was on here. But I'm on here a lot, so I saw him, and because I helped do this, I knew the correct answer, so I'm trying to help this guy. So I told him why. Well, I told him how we picked who we picked, because think about it, if we had Totally Garage, if we had Puri Garage, if we had Jakarta's Diecast, people like that. Say if you had 5 of those guys, right? Well, they're all 5 going to show you top-notch customs that most of us can't build. We can aspire to, but we really can't do it. And they're all going to be JDM or something like that. So the way me and Rodney had done it was we wanted somebody from each type. Like I was the muscle car guy. Honest Diecast was the Porsche guy, you know. CJD was the Gaslands guy, you know. Rodney, he liked muscle cars too, but I forgot what his main thing was, sorry. And then we had some other members and everything too, but you get my point. We all have different abilities. We all have different interests so that we could learn off each other. That's the whole point of doing a group like that. Picking different builds and everything. If you're all alike, how are you going to learn? How are you going to get any better? And how are they going to show you? So I was answering these questions, and I got 2 or 3 answered, and for whatever reason, this person went off the handle. Started cussing me out in open forum and everything. And I don't know, normally I let stuff like that go, but I'm like, God, man, I'm sorry. It's going to be an hour video. I apologize, guys. But for whatever reason, this just triggered me. So I said a few things back. Now, I didn't cuss at him. I didn't demean him or anything. But I did say some smart comments, like when he would cuss, you know. I made a comment like, wow, look at you, a weak mind trying to express itself forcefully. You know, so, like I said, nothing mean. But it was a little, I guess you could call rude. But yeah, that went on for a little while. Like I said, open forum. At some point, I told the dude, I'm like, look, this is not helping either one of us. Let's just delete everything and let it be what it is. Just leave it alone. We'll leave it as water under the bridge and move on. Thought that was fine. Went back to work on a Monday, I think it was. I think it was a week later. I think it was a week later. I can't remember. It's been a while. It's been a couple years now. Hold on, let me get a swallow drink. Sorry about that, guys. So that takes care of that part. Fast forward to Jay's Diecast Garage. He has a roll race that he was putting on called Pinks. You build a custom, send it in, and basically you're building it to lose. Because basically it's a drag strip, rolls the dice, each spot, each number has, like 1 and 2 is a 1-spot move, 2 and 3 is a 2-spot move, so on and so forth. So whoever crosses the finish line first wins, and he does the best out of 3. So if you win 2 races, you get the other person's car. And then you get to keep that car, even if you lose your car later on, where you just won another custom. So the guy that I was talking about just a minute ago sent in a car and wanted to do the race. And like I said, probably Monday, a week later, my phone just started blowing up. Did you see what so-and-so said? Did you see what so-and-so did? Did you? So then I had to investigate. Couldn't do it at work. Not supposed to be on my phone at work. So I had to wait till I got home, and all day this thing is just bugging me. People were telling me left and right what's being said, what's being done. So come to find out, this same person decided to take it upon themselves to become like some YouTube rule maker who can and can't do something, can and can't say something. He started calling out YouTube channels, and he's still got them on his YouTube channel, so you can go see them, even the ones where he talked about me. But we'll get back to that later. So he starts doing that, and the first ones he called out was Rodney and Derek, and then he went on to Honest Diecast, and then he went on, and I don't know if he did another one after that or not, because Rodney contacted him and that kind of squashed it. But then all that blew up, like I said, Monday. So what had happened was somebody had contacted Jay, JDC, Jay's Diecast Garage, told him what the guy was doing. Jay said he didn't want that in his race. It's his race. He can do what he wants with his race. If he doesn't like your content or how you act and everything, he can say, no, I don't want you in. It's totally his right. But anyhow, he sent the guy a message, told him he was made aware of a few things, and that he was going to send his core back and refund his money. This guy blew up. Started talking to Jay like he was me. And just out of nowhere, without ever asking, started blaming me for it. Like I said, we had put all that under the bridge. I was done with it. I'm moving on. I'm getting my build ready for Pinks and everything, getting it sent in. And he goes off, he goes crazy over it. Makes a couple videos about it. Goes around telling everybody. A couple people say they're withdrawing from the race, and that's the couple of people I was telling you. They withdrew because they don't like drama. But then you go look at the other person's videos, every single video, there they are commenting. If you don't like drama, what are you doing over there? But anyhow, that's another story. So he's got it in his mind that I'm the one that told, and he's going around telling lies after lies after lies, saying he's going to ruin me on YouTube, he's going to ruin me on Instagram, and Jay included, he's going to ruin him too. And he's never asked. He just assumed who it was. Because him and I guess I'm the only one that's ever stood up to him and said something back, because he took it like to heart. But anyhow, so with all that stated and everything, he kept doing that, kept spreading lies, kept telling stories, and people were telling him it wasn't me. I mean, people was legitimately telling him and his little cohort. He's got a little buddy he likes to run around with. He was telling them that it wasn't me, and it wasn't. I've already mentioned in this tale who it was. Like I said, I'm not going to name names, but I've already mentioned their name. Rodney even come out. Well, first Jay came out and made a video, told him it wasn't me. Didn't tell who it was, but he told him it was not me. Rodney come out and talked to him, because him and Rodney were talking back and forth. Rodney even came out and told him exactly who it was. Rodney made a video telling who it was. I still have that video. Rodney's taking it down, but I've got the video. This guy still will not believe it. Every once in a while I'll see a comment on another channel of one of those people I was telling you about that was brought, and this guy was a member of the group too, but anyhow, where it was brought out how he was doing people, you you can see in his community post and everything where this guy still believes it. And he still believes it because he's got the videos up. That's proof of it. But anyhow, that's what happened. To this day, nobody except you has ever asked me if I did it. No, I did not. Like I said, if you guys want to know names, I can tell you names. But for now, I'm just going to keep it like this because it's been quiet. I really want to leave it alone, just move on. And the funny thing is never once had an apology. Never once. I'll never get one from the guy that went around telling lies because, like I said, he still believes it was me. Even though it wasn't. He's been told it wasn't. It's out in the open that it wasn't. It's out in the open who it was. And then the person that I've already named left me out there. Knew because we were contacting each other every day. Knew what this guy was saying about me and about Jay. Never once said anything to this guy. Never once came out and said, no, it's not them. I'm the one that told. Just left me out there to take everything. Me being the type of person I am, I'm like, it's just a misunderstanding, let it go. Don't say anything. So then after so much time, I was like, without saying anything to them, I want to make some changes on my channel, yada, yada, yada. So I cut some of those channels like I was telling because they're flocking over there even after watching the videos and hearing what this guy's saying. And I tried warning a couple of people about what he was doing. And you can't warn people. You just can't. You think they're your friends and you warn them and they just flip on you. I've seen it happen to me and several other people on here. And you just can't do it. But never got an apology from him. Oops, he said him. There's another clue, right? Never an apology. The only thing that he's apologized for was the appearance. He apologized for it to appear that he left me out there to take all the blows. What? That's exactly what you did. But anyhow, all that's under the bridge, That's why you don't see me in some people's lives, in some people's comments. That's why you don't see them over on my channel. It's just one of those things you kind of, like I said, I asked for my key back, or I took my key back, told them they're no longer in my house, and that's it. That's how you have to handle things, because this thing right here, well, a keyboard will make your head that big if you let it. So keep that in mind. Treat people like you want to be treated. No matter how bad you think you're having it, somebody's always got it worse. So with that stated, thank you all so very much for the questions. I greatly appreciate it. I'm sorry that it's an hour long, but I wanted to answer the questions in detail, and I really didn't want to answer this last one at all, but you're the only one that's ever asked. You're the only one that's had the dignity to ask me. Everybody else is taking sides. So, with that being stated, thank you all so very much for watching. Thank you all for who posted questions. And we'll see you in the next video. You know what I say, get out there and hunt. You don't hunt, you will not find. Thanks for watching.